Thank you, Chair, and good morning. Emmanuel Walia from the Office of the Clerk.
As from my right, Honorable Serenge.
Thank you, Chair, and George Kasabila Kandafula, Member of Parliament for Serenge. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, SAMFYA Town Council and the permanent witnesses, the Office of the Clerk, and the honorable members. My name is COUNCI Akisomo, Member of Parliament for Rufanyama constituency in the Copper Belt Rural. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, and welcome SAMFYA Council, Town Council. My name is Newton Samakai, Member of Parliament for Munilonga constituency in the Northwestern Province.
Thank you so very much, colleagues. Honorable Anthony Kasandwe, Member of Parliament for Bangor constituency, SAMFYA district, where this council is coming from. And I'm the Vice Chair of the committee. Ordinarily, I would have taken interest, but for the purposes of our engagement today, I will not take. I will not declare any interest at all. I want to fully engage in interacting with my town council. So now, before we begin, CS and your team, I would like to insulate you or to vest you with Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia. That protects you from being prosecuted by any courts of law in our republic if by saying nothing but the truth to this committee. But conversely, if you deliberately and willingly elect to mislead the committee, the same cap will see you in the other side of the law. So now, before we completely engage, I just want to give you guidance on how we proceed. We have all your queries are cross-cutting actually. There are no specific serious audits that you should be worried about. You read the audit query, then you go to management response, and then if there is action taken, and the remedial measures. Don't concentrate so much on the tables. They are straightforward. They are self-explanatory. We've looked, so you just deal with the audit query, management response, action taken, and remedial measures. Then thereafter, if there will be need for the members to engage you, they will ask you some questions. CS, you may.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chair. As I put myself on record, Chair, I would wish to beg that certain information which I have as auxiliary with me be considered possibly when that interaction goes on, because there could be other additional information which my report could not have captured.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Let me proceed, Chair, to page 3. And I'll read through up to page 11. What follows thereafter are appendixes.
Okay.
Chair, Appendix 3, it has the query there on the audit opinion, and I proceed with that management has given. The observations of the Auditor General are acknowledged, and the Council will wish to state that the financial statements were verified and a favorable opinion given as appended in Appendix 1, where there is the financial statement extract. Chair, on Appendix 2, which is budget, funding and expenditure, it's coming out the way it is. Our management response, the observation of the Auditor General are acknowledged, and we wish to state that the variance to under collection on various locally generated revenue and the unspent funds related to held on account for committed government programs and activities as shown in the table below. Chair, our action, an amount of 4,551,538 has since been spent as shown in the table below, and the attached Appendix 2, which comprises a statement of comparison of budget and actual amounts for the year ended 31st December, ledger payments and bank statements are available. The remedial measure, Chair, management will ensure that the funds are according to committed government programs and activities. On Appendix 4, its other deliverable targets and outputs not achieved as presented in the table. Management response. The observations of the audit are acknowledged on the deliverable targets and wish to state that the cause of the query, action taken and remedial measures are as shown in the table below. See attached Appendix 3, which highlights the photo. Chair, after that table, there is also Appendix 18, which is vacant positions highlighted in the table there too. The findings of the Auditor General are acknowledged, and the local authority wishes to state that the staffing levels in the period under review were sufficient for service delivery as supported by the budget. Chair, action taken. The local authority has since received 9 officers as shown on the table below. As appended at 4, appointment letters for the officers are. Chair, the local authority, through the local government service, will ensure that the identified key positions are filled to enhance service provision. Under Appendix 22, Chair, the findings of the Auditor General are acknowledged, and the local authority wishes to state that this was due to more receipt of letters of promotion from the local authority has since submitted recommendations from the Human Resource Committee to the Commission, and we have appended this at 5. The remedial, the local authority through the Commission will ensure timely promotion for deserving officers, as this will also motivate and enhance performance. Appendix 23, employment of temporal workers. Chair, the findings of the Auditor General are acknowledged, and the local authority would wish to state that this was as a result of financial constraints, as they were not provided for in the employment on permanent establishment. The action taken, Chair, the local authority wish to report that all temporal workers have been engaged on contractual terms for a period of 1 year. We have provided copies at Appendix 6. The local authority will endeavor to enhance the budget for the contracted workers. Under Appendix 32, which is non-maintenance of properties, Chair, the auditor findings are acknowledged, and the Council would wish to state that this was as a result of financial constraints experienced during the period under review. Our action, Chair, the local authority secured some funds in 2025 and has since started maintenance works on buildings, which we have given some copy at Appendix 7. On remedial measure, Chair, the local authority will adhere to its already maintenance policy to avoid future audit issues. Appendix 38, poor management of waste. The Auditor General findings are acknowledged, Chair, and we wish to state that this was as a result of late receipt of funding under Zambia devolution support. The local authority report that works are in progress as shown on Appendix 8, where we have put materials and also completed the areas. Medial measure, Chair, the local authority will ensure that committed funds are spent on planned programs and activities. Appendix 40, its failure to establish and maintain cemeteries. The local authority acknowledges the auditor's observation in failure to establish and maintain cemeteries. This was due to non-receipt of funds. The local authority has budgeted for the of the cemetery services in the 2026 budget. The remedial measure, Chair, the local authority will ensure that committed funds are spent on planned programs and activities. Appendix 41, which is non-settlement of statutory and other obligations. The local authority chair agrees with the auditor's findings on the non-settlement of statutory obligations and the other obligations due to financial constraints. The table there, Chair, depicts the position at which SAMFYA is. The local authority has put a payment plan in the 2026 budget to liquidate the actual debt. As for the National Pensions Fund, contributions are being deducted at source. This was effected in 2025. We have an Appendix 10, Chair, for reference. The local authority will ensure that committed funds are spent on planned projects and the under Appendix 42, which is settlement of staff obligations, Chair, management wishes to take note of the auditor's findings on non-settlement of statutory obligations due to financial challenges being faced by the local authority. The local authority chair has put up a payment plan in the 2026 budget to liquidate the actual debt. We've put an Appendix 10. The major measure chair will ensure that the local authority spends committed funds on activities and programs. Appendix 43. Inadequate fire. The local authority wishes to acknowledge the observation made regarding lack of firefighting services. However, the local authority wished to report that it has an established fire station with 6 fire officers who provide basic fighting, including but not limited to sensitization, inspections and rescue services, but lack of fire engine to effectively carry out the operation. That is missing, Chair. But we have tried to put the measures that the local authority has done under Appendix 11. The action, Chair, the local authority wishes to report that the committee that the ministry has since been engaged to assist with procurement of fire tender and other firefighting equipment. The local authority will ensure that fighting services are made available in the district as a preventive measure for eventualities, and that a fire service engine is secured. Under Appendix 48, which is unspent funds under sector grant. The local authority acknowledges the auditor's finding on unspent funds due to ongoing programs and activities. The local authority has since spent the funds as shown on the table below. The remedial measure the local authority to ensure that committed funds are spent on programs and activities as budgeted. Chair, I proceed. We have a table, Chair, indicating unspent amount. The Auditor General findings are acknowledged. The local authority wishes to state that this was as a result of late receipt of funds as shown on the bank statement attached as Appendix 13. The action, Chair, taken, the authority has since spent the funds as shown on the table below, attached at Appendix 13. The local authority will ensure that the committed funds are spent on planned activities and programs. Chair, in conclusion, the local authority wishes to assure the committee, your committee chair, that it will be proactive to ensuring that the shortcomings and lapses raised in the report are given priority and adequate attention to address them well. Additionally, the local authority shall endeavor to abide by good practices in upholding laws and regulations in discharging of its local authority functions for the benefit of the entire community. Chair.
Thank you so very much, CS, for your submission. Honorable members, maybe before we we begin to engage, I would like to invite Honorable to invite you to introduce yourself.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, SAMFYA. Ms. Kazwa is my name, from Senga Hill constituency in Northern Province. Thank you.
Honorable members, any questions? Or we let them go?
Because
Honorable
people, Chair. Thank you. Chair, I just out from CS Appendix 4 on the dry port. I've seen, Chair, in some areas the council may be struggling to raise money, locally generated funds, as the CS was submitting. CS, what was the total budget for the dry port, and how far have you gone now in establishing it? I have seen it showing it's showing 0% on the port. How much money did you budget the dry port, and what is the status by now? By that time it was at 0%.
Honorable Samakai.
Thank you very much, Chair. I take you to Appendix 2. Council Secretary, you have indicated that the unspent money was due to government programs that were committed but did not. So we really want to find out what were those programs not implemented within the stipulated period of time. And do you have any evidence to show that indeed the monies were committed?
Are you done? Any other questions? Maybe on the question. Okay, Honorable Sumo.
Appendix 40.
Appendix 40.
Appendix 40 on the cemeteries,
Okay.
the establishment and the maintenance. In your submission, you talked about a bit of money 24, but when you check, you find you received money on 17 October. Maybe that's the time when you came in the council, because you said you came mid 2024. But you received the money during that period. And in 2026, you have said you have budgeted the cemetery. When you look at the period from 2024 up to now, what is the status now on the cemetery, and where are people burying their late deceased? Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, yes. Before you proceed, on the first question on for your, Appendix 4 on the dry pot, the committee also wants to know if there is a clear implementation timeline, and also we want to know if the land has been secured and if it is on title. It's yes to answer. Oh, before that, Honorable Samakai. Okay, so let's do first the Appendix 2 in its own entirety, then we'll go to Appendix 4. Yes, okay.
Thank you very much. Appendix 2, could you confirm whether the delayed expenditure affected targets for the year under review? To what extent did the uncommitted funds, the implemented program?
Honorable microphone.
To what extent did the unimplemented programs affect service delivery? I hope that is clear. The balance of 948, which specific programs have you put in place in order to use this money? And what specific measures have the council put in place to prevent recurrence of the under expenditure? Are we going to see this recur in the following financial years, or you put a stop to this?
Okay, so yes, you may deal with Appendix 2 questions first, then we may proceed to the other one. And feel free to bounce the ball to the officers that you feel would give us what we are looking for.
Thank you so much, Chair. The questions are now turning round in my head. They are so intricate, which require a clear substantiation. To start with, I think I'm with the Director of Finance and also the engineer. I would need that a bit of explanation is given, and I promise to get back on the same immediately, Chair.
I'm sure we are taking note of the questions on Appendix 2. Okay, you may proceed.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Appendix 2. First, I'll focus on the spent funds of 5,479,000. Just on the response there, I've provided a table which shows that we've spent about 4,551,538, leaving a balance of 927. So if we go to the Appendix 2, we'll see the actual expenditures. That is what we've attached, the vouchers. And then the balance that is the outstanding is for a committed project on street lighting, which is currently ongoing. That is why we've noticed, Chair, that in our submission, there's still an amount of 927 that has not been paid.
Okay, so that balance will go toward works.
Yes, the current works that are ongoing.
Okay.
So the moment the contractor satisfies our conditions, we'll be able to make that payment.
All right. Okay, any?
Yeah. You haven't fully answered the questions. I'm not too sure whether you noted all the questions. We want you to tell us to what extent the unspent money affected service delivery. How did the unspent money affect service delivery in the town council of SAMFYA?
Thank you, Chair. I believe I got the concern very clearly, but what I needed was just the position of the finances to be stated how it was used and what has been spent. I've gotten the Honourable Member of Parliament very clearly, Chair, on the issue of delay in service delivery, the effects that it has.
Yes.
I think that
is the question.
A
Yes.
serious concern, yes, which has come out, and I duly acknowledge that, Chair. And also the aspect that how do we now move further? What gadgets do we put in place to ensure that we avoid that kind of recurrence as the local authority? Chair, to develop this, yes, I agree that when there is delay in the dispensation of funds, it's the community that suffer. In this case, the funds that are here to being mentioned, we needed to undertake projects, the projects that had to do with waste, and we had to do the projects that had to do with the dumping site. Then there was mention of the same graveyard that has been alluded to within the same funds that we are talking about. So SAMFYA, it has grown and the population is big, and the activity, economic activity which is there has equally increased. But then the challenge that has come as a result of at that date, it has to do with the of cleaning our town, because the dumping, it has been too much, which at the moment, I think that issue has been addressed at Mwamfurian Town Center, where we have put up already the dumping base. But the works that are still going are to do with the dumping site. Then on the electricity, I think that has also been done. So I wish to accept that the works that are still going are to do with the dumping site. Then on the electricity is most needed, and that service is to mitigate a lot of things, which includes even disease prevention and the like. But Chair, I have to point out that it's not just a delay. There are also factors at play at local level as we interact with the stakeholders to pick these projects that we do, as well as matters surrounding procurement. The dumping site, then on the electricity most needed, and that's saving our procurement, as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, then on the electricity most needed, and that's saving our procurement, as well as matters in time, but which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, then on the electricity most needed, and that's saving our procurement, as well as matters in time, but which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, then on the electricity most needed, and that's saving our procurement, as well as matters in time,
which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. The dumping site, all the is not needed, and that saving our as well as matters in time, which surrounding procurement. Gracias. as well as
Answered, has asked you, and you are telling the committee that you have budgeted 882,000. The 882,000 is for entire indebtedness that you have. not the retirees. Retirees, your budget is 120,000. That's what you have indicated in your repayment plan. It's
Appendix 10.
Appendix 10, the third page. The first page is the budget, and the budget again, then the last one. There are only 3 papers. Yeah, so terminal benefits is 1,169,009, and the budget is 10,000 per month, and pay is 120,000. That's what you should have been telling the chair, because that was exactly his question.
Honorable Kangombe, on the same question. Okay, so let's, we've a couple of questions that they need to, I'll ask you to introduce yourself later. Yeah, so we're asking you specifically on the retirees, okay? Because they have a huge stretch on you don't clear them in a shortest period of time. Okay, maybe let me put just a simple question. When do you intend to clear off the 5 retirees off your books? When? Do you have any plan at all? No or yes? CS?
The plan is available because the plan is available. Our wish is to clear this within a shorter period of time. Our understanding is that these are on the payroll and they get monthly, meaning they are continuous on the payroll. It's a serious drain on the resource.
Absolutely, that's why you're asking you that question.
Exactly. So my pre-chair, it's that let me grow, because we are at more of investment stage. This time the budget itself has limited us. We cannot project what we can conclude
so
this
meaning,
year.
CS, in short, you cannot give us a projection. We don't want to no projection. So if you're asking for time to grow the fund, so if there is no projection, well and good. Don't give us the answer which is not there. The question is there payment plan. If there is an answer, if there is, when do you intend, at what point do you intend to clear the 5? Because if you clear them off, then they will be no longer on your payroll. Then you will have resources to use for other community services. So if there is no projection, just say so. We move to another question. Is there a projection when you intend to clear the 5 retirees off your books? No or yes?
Proceed.
Finance Director. Director Finance.
Thank you, Chair. For the short term, yes, 2026, we have 120,000. But our resource envelope,
No. You've given us the answer the auditor has said. He will visit you next year because you've made commitment. Then you can see, yes, you can proceed to answer the question on the fire services from Honorable Skazwe. We should be winding down.
Thank you, Chair. The fire services, the station is already constructed, it's in place, and we have 6 officers. Chair, we've been able to make basic services to the community, including rescue services with the officers available. The Chair, the biggest challenge we have is that of the equipment, the fire tender. If this is a, because from local generated resources, we cannot meet that machinery in a shortest possible period of time. Why? We've tried to engage seriously with the ministry so that we can possibly receive help for relief. In that way, we will operate optional. The station is established, human resources available who are able to make services which are basic. But then the major thing is to have that equipment which makes offering of fire services complete. I think that's where we are stuck as a council chair.
All right. You also wanted to find out how much did you spend on the fire station, if you have the figures. If you can bounce the question to one of your officers.
Yes, we have the direct Engineering acting available here.
Acting Director Engineering. How much? Honorable
Thank you, Chair. The budget was 999, and it was constructed in.
What was the source?
The source was by then we had capital projects, so it was coming from the government equalization fund.
Okay, all right. Do you have a services account? And if yes, how much money is there? By law, a finance director for finance, you are supposed to be remitting 50% of what you collect each month into that account. This committee want to know how much you have in that account, if there is any money, if you have the information with you. Is the account in existence? Yes or no? Director Finance?
Thank you, Chair. The account is there, and we make deposits every month. I'm not in a position to give the current amount that is there, but I would estimate at the moment we have something like 30,000 and above. But we'll be able to submit the correct figure if the committee may allow.
All right, Honorable Kangombe, introduction and your question.
Thank you very much, Chair. Witness, page 5, failure to fill vacant positions. Page 6, delayed promotion of officers. Page 6, appendix, employment of temporary workers casualization. I'll start with the first two, failure to fill vacant positions and delayed promotion. Chair, I want to find out from CS and his team whether this delay to fill the vacancies is as a result of management not writing to the Commission in good time, or it's the Commission not responding to you in good time. Who delayed to do the communication? Is it the letter from the Commission that delayed to come back? Because we have auditors who again visit you, and if they find another group of workers who haven't been confirmed or positions filled in, again it will be an audit query. So I want to understand, the same applies to the delayed promotion. You have workers that are supposed to be promoted, there was a delay. Who delayed? Is it the Human Resource Committee, or it's the Commission that delayed to write a letter to you to say, please confirm these, promote these two employees? And lastly, employment of temporary workers. Is there no procedure which prevents you from doing this? A written procedure which says you can't have workers on a casual basis? Are workers within the institution aware that such procedures exist? Chair, those are my two questions. Thank you.
CS, we can prove. Okay.
I went straight to the questions. Engineer Christopher Kangombe, Member of Parliament for Kamfinsa constituency. Chair, I'm trying to settle down. Just arrived from Kitwe. Thank you.
Okay, so CS, in 3 minutes, answer those 3 questions from Honorable Kangombe. We will need to wind.
Thank you so much, Chair. The questions somehow are pinning because I'm dealing with my employer, but I can speak confidently of my party.
Yes, that's why
Chair.
we have insulated you with
Exactly.
Just don't mind the presence of your employer here. So you have the immunity to be factual.
Thank you so much, Chair, but it's still inner. Let me proceed this way. Let me proceed this way.
Local government commission and the local government ministry, this is your employee, eh? There is something inner. So proceed, sir.
Thank you so much. I think on the vacancies, the area challenge was to do with the budgeting. We didn't have enough space, I'm sure, to absorb the 023 staff. But we were lucky the Commission gave us 9. To start with, they gave us 9. And these came on timely. The 9 came on timely. Then we pushed in recommendations, and these recommendations were done. I think it has taken about 2 months. Yeah, it should be 2 months or so. So we may not proceed to answer in terms of delay, but what we have is hope that the same way we received the 9, I'm sure the Commission will still give us the other 23. Because, Chair, we were looking at staff who are doing well within our institution. Those are the ones we recommended. We believe that when those vacancies are created further after elevation, it will remain with us now because most of them will be and we have that authority or mandate to deal with Division 3 staff. So once this stage passes, the next one it will be easier because it's under the law. In terms of promotion, delay, the officer who was affected actually has been promoted. We did the usual thing, we wrote, but of course we need to wait for response of our employer. Until such a time, of course we do reminders, but we usually wait for their response after we have given the request. The officer is employed and confirmed currently. For temporal workers, yes, Chair, we have the law in Zambia which has restrictions on casualization. We are not supposed to dwell on casualization. All we do is to do the job analysis so that we see the subsistence of that job. Is it going into perpetuity or it's intermittent? Is it something that is there just for 3 months? And then we do that in tandem with the budget that we have available. Our budget is able, we've planned that our budget is able to absorb that staff whom we feel we shall need them for a longer time. We are able to give them contracts of 1 year because that stands different from the actual casualization. With hope that when our budget gets approved, we absorb these staff to be under permanent establishment. So I can assure this committee, Chair, that we are in that, observing that. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so very much. Honorable, introduce yourself for the record purposes as we conclude our meeting.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Honorable Chala Paul, MP for Chipiri constituency in Chipiri district, Luapula province. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable CS. Thank you so very much for your time. And from listening to your submissions, there are few issues that I would like to bring to your attention that need some panel beating that we need. Number one, there is need to strengthen revenue mobilization strategies. Okay? And also, your projection budgeting should be realistic. We also need to enhance project planning, procurement efficiency. And we also want to come up with a structured debt liquidation framework so that you know when you intend to finish paying your debt, and also to ensure that the safety is enhanced by making sure that you deal with the issues of fire services. And we urgently need to strengthen your governance system and restore financial stability and ensure strict compliance with statutory obligations. So those are the few observations that we've made from our interaction. And then before I withdraw your immunity, maybe you have 1 or 2 words to as your concluding remarks.
Thank you, Chair. With the team, I think we are happy, not thinking, actually we are deeply happy to appear before the committee. I should promise that the concerns that have come out are really to sharpen up and to help the community receive the necessary services. With that, Chair, it's my promise that with my team, I think we'll work around the clock to follow this guidance you have given for the common good of our community. Thank you so much, Chair, as we relinquish our protection.
You are relinquishing it yourself. You are in a hurry to go. Anyways, we thank you for your concluding remarks. You see, this cross-cutting, these are issues you can deal with them. You don't have to come to Lusaka for these simple issues to deal with. So we are saying we don't want to see you next time. Of councils who are promising that next time when we come, we don't want you here. We want you to be in the local authorities, in town councils, to provide the much needed services. So at this juncture, I would like to withdraw those conferred on you, and we wish you all the best. To the next committee room. The meeting has come to an end.
Well, there you have it. SAMFYA Town Council, led by their Council Secretary, Mr. Hudson Kachenjela, has made their appearance before the Committee on Local Governance, Housing and Chiefs Affairs, and that was for the consideration of the audit of accounts of local authorities for the financial year ended 31st December 2024. And just now, we take you to the Committee on Local Government Accounts, in which Chief Nawuli Town Council is already making a submission before the committee, and that's for the consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the Constituency Development Fund for the financial year ended 31st December 2024. Keep watching Parliament Television.
Management acknowledges the auditor's observation regarding the unspent funds amounting to 773 kwacha at the end of a financial year under review that was due to saving. Action taken. Management reports that the unspent balance of 773 kwacha was fully expended in the year 2025. The major measure, management will ensure that the funds are fully utilized within the respective financial year through timely planning and budgeting. Appendix 2.2, total unspent funds, empowerment grant, management response,